Good morning, my lovely, lovely ones. I hope you are very, very well. Welcome to this month's postnatal powerhouse sessions with me, Alice Johnston, the postnatal Pilates coach. If you are new into this world, into my space and my world, then I'm so happy that you're here. And there's just a little reminder of what these sessions are all about. So once a month, I will go live on a topic that I think is going to be really, really helpful to you. A topic that maybe you have shared some questions or concerns about, and then I give you kind of a little bit of coaching and guidance on that particular topic. And if you're joining me live, then you can pop some questions that you might have into the comments below. And if you're watching me on the replay, which I know a lot of you are, because let's be honest, there's no perfect time to do a live because we're all teaching. So I pick a time that works for me, and I hope it works for you. And if it doesn't, then you've got the replay. So let's crack on. So today I have chosen a topic that so many of you talk to me about, and that is diastasis and doming. And we've kind of had this discussion a lot in PCRM, which is my instructor training program, about kind of when we see doming in a class and like, what does it mean? And a lot of people will be like panicked and go, oh my God, if I see doming, then I've got to stop everything because I'm gonna make things worse. But the truth is that doming isn't always like a sign that something is like catastrophically wrong. It does not mean, fuck, she's about to sort of blow out and herniate all over the floor and that you're going to do something catastrophically wrong. Sometimes, yes, it's a red flag, and sometimes it's just the body's way of showing you something about where that particular client is in her recovery journey. So we have to kind of try and learn the difference between the two. And this is kind of what I'm seeing all the time with instructors. And what I'm hearing a lot of the time is that you're going to see that kind of doming mid-class, or a client will say to you, oh, I just get this kind of like bread loaf feeling, or, you just feel that kind of disconnect in the core. And, immediately what typically tends to happen is that the instructor, you will then kind of freeze, panic, and go, oh, right, let's not do that exercise. Let's pull you right back. And then, worst case scenario, you keep them at like super basic level forever because you're like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And then what happens is that your client never progresses, and they never kind of get any of that function back. They never really kind of get that strength back, and they end up just feeling frustrated, and you feel frustrated because you're like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'll play it safe because that way then I'm not doing anything wrong. And that's why so many of you feel that kind of like second guessing, really terrified of making it worse. And honestly, it is not your fault because you're not taught this in your pre and postnatal qualification. It just sort of glosses over diastasis and those more complex postnatal conditions. And the advice is simply like, avoid ab crunches and planks. The end. And so, it's no wonder that you feel a bit whenever you see doming, because you're like, what do I do? So let's kind of reframe this and look at it in like, there are two different types of doming. We've got one, problem doming, okay? And then that is when the pressure inside the abdominal wall is not being managed by the client. You're going to see that kind of big push up that looks like a little bread roll or a bread loaf there. Maybe the client's holding their breath, and it doesn't matter what you say, there's no control over that abdominal wall at all. And that kind of doming cannot be controlled. Then we have non-problem doming. And this is more likely a sign that we just have lost that connection, and we just got distracted. Maybe the client was thinking about shopping or something, like, or what the kids were going to eat for supper that day. So it's doming that can be managed with recorrecting the breath pattern, re-cueing the connection. And that way then they can get that under control. So doming is never a sign of like, oh, danger, stop. It's a sign that you're getting information. You're getting information. And so instead of panicking and stopping, you just need to observe, to cue, and to check and see what's going on. So next time you see doming in your class, what I want you to do is just check out for these kind of 2 quick checks that you can do. Is she kind of like holding her breath and really kind of struggling to kind of even focus? Because often that kind of valsalvaring maneuver will increase intra-abdominal pressure and cause that doming. So what's happening with the breath? And then the other one is, can you regain that connection with a cute little cue to help her think about that pelvic floor abdominal connection and put that piece together again? If she can get that doming under control with those 2 quick checks, then, you're fine. Keep going, keep progressing. But if she can't get it under control with those 2 things, then you're going to know you need to just pause, modify, regress a little bit, and then build back from there. So simple, huh? So it's not about, failing if you see doming. It's about, okay, this is the feedback I need to help my client move forward. This is just a little amuse-bouche of the types of things that I'm going to be covering in my upcoming workshop, Bridging the Diastasis Gap. And we are going to go way deeper into diastasis. So we're going to be looking at things like, how do you actually assess a diastasis properly? Because it's more than just the gap. How do you modify and progress clients? And I'm also going to share with you my golden rule for when to regress, progress, or carry on, so you don't have any guesswork and any panic. It's happening on Thursday, the 16th of October, so in a couple of weeks. At 11 a.m. UK time. Yes, there'll be a replay, so you can catch up if you are teaching or you are doing something else at that time. And it's CPD training, so you can get those sweet training points, and it's only £37. And there's also a little extra if you want to grab hold of it at the checkout, which is my diastasis friendly lesson plan as well. So if you're working with mamas, this workshop is going to be invaluable to you. I'm going to put the link to join the workshop in the comments, but if you want me to send you the link direct, then just comment link in the comments and I will send it over to you. I hope that was useful, my darlings, and I shall see you next month for our next postnatal powerhouse session, and have a great rest of your week. Ciao.